Hello everyone, Sorry here, and thank you so much for joining me for our Kendra Card Challenge Super Sponsor Hop. The design team and I are working with some GINA K Designs products. The one I'm going to be playing with is called Modern Roses, and this is a fantastic die. I just love the simplicity of these roses. It is a layering stamp, although it doesn't necessarily look like the leaves are touching. It is positioned in a way that you can do that. And of course you get the extra little pieces. But also the fun and awesome thing about GINA K products is when you get the stamp die bundle. And I just want to show you this just because I really like this. It comes with a little magnetic sheet. And I think that's fantastic because when you are ready to use it, you can just take these, I'll put them on the magnetic sheet and then put it all. The one thing I liked about this bundle, the stamp and die bundle, is that you actually get like this magnetic sheet. I think that's fantastic. So when you are working with your products, so when you finally open it, you can just lay them on here and then it's much easier to store and you don't have to worry about the little plastic sheets that are covering it. I think that is fantastic and it just makes this product feel just more professionally polished. 3, 2, 1. The one thing I like about this when you have the stamp and die bundle is that GINA K provides this magnetic sheet. And I think that's just fantastic because I don't usually like to keep the plastic around my dies, and having not to worry about magnetic sheets because there's one provided just makes for easy storage, and I can get rid of this additional packaging. So yeah, I really like that. It's a fantastic idea. So this is the product I'll be working with, and this is the sketch that I'll be working with. I will be doing sketch number 3. And so let's put the stuff away and let's create a card. Okay, so to start off the card, let's pull out the stamp set and our stamp wheel. I'm going to take these cluster of roses and I'm going to just create a nice subtle background. For the sketch that I'm working as number 3, I have that white center on the sketch. So that's what my white panel is going to be. I'm going to be working with some oxides, which is not something I normally ink with because I don't find they give you great fine lines or solid color. But for this modern stamp, I think this is going to be perfect. I really like how smudgy and not perfect they are looking. So I'm going to use the candy apple for the red. I'm going to do it 2 times just to kind of get a decent amount of coverage. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it off with my GINA K chamois. I don't know what the name is, but it's by GINA K. And it's just allowing me to wash off my stamp. I don't want to take it off yet. And then I'm going to bring out the leaves. And I don't believe they're supposed to look like they're attached to the roses. So there's a perfect little, almost like aisles where these leaves fit. So I'm pretty sure that is how you do it. I could definitely look this up on internet and find out, but you know, it looked good to me. So this is what we're going to go with. And I'm going to bring out Mode Lawn. This is such a pretty color. It's actually something I just recently purchased and the first time getting to use it. So I'm excited. It's such a, I love this one. I can't believe it took me so long to buy it. But anyways, it's making these leaves look fantastic. So once that is done, what I'm going to do is rinse that off and then I'm going to bring out my embossing ink. So because I didn't move my stamp, they're in the perfect position, I can now bring in my embossing ink and just go over. I'm not certain if oxides can actually hold on to embossing powder. This is why I'm doing the extra step. If it does, then maybe you don't need to do the embossing, the versifying ink in my case. But that's what I did. And then I'm just going to go back and forth a couple times just to make sure that the ink is on that spot. So while I'm doing that, I can explain that Kendra card challenge. If you're not familiar, it is a card sketch challenge where you take a PDF that you can download, and it will give you instructions on how to cut 6x6 sheets of pattern paper to create 15 cards normally, and in this challenge, 18 cards. And the reason you want to do this is because it can help you build up your stash of cards, but also because if you take a picture of all your cards and post it on the InLinkz party, you receive chances, you get chances of winning amazing prizes. And there are a lot of prizes. Look at that. I love that. The shine on this modern rose is fantastic. Okay, so this is the white piece, like I said. So I'm showing you it's meant to be 3 inches by 4 1/4. So how do I do that? Well, first let's knock it down to the 3 inches. And I'm going to make it equal on both sides. So just making sure, what is that? Cutting off 2 and whatever inches. Just make sure you do it equally on both sides. And then for the 4 1/4, I'm going to just cut off a tiny bit of the top and then the rest on the bottom. This is to allow me to just have not too much white on the bottom, although it probably would have looked nice with a little bit more white on the bottom, but you know, whatever works for you. Do you want to cut off more roses on the top, or do you want to have less white in the bottom? And then you just work with it. In my stash, I have this paper that I had no idea where I got it from, but it looked really nice. I love the little polka dots. So I cut that sheet. That is paper B in the sketch, which is 4 by 5 1/4, giving me that nice little white border there. And oh, I just love that polka dot. Oh, so pretty. So then we'll just glue my panel here to the black. And I thought the black was a nice touch. Just really make those red and green colors pop. And I know that the pattern paper in behind is a little bit muted, but that also seems to work in my eye. I think if it was a bright color, it would take away from these really pretty roses. I will say off camera, I did the same steps twice where I was creating the roses and then embossing them. The reason I did that was because that's where these extra elements came from. When it was done, I cut them out. There are dies, but I cut these ones out myself, and then I inked them with a little bit of ink. I'm trying to think of the color, but it's not on the camera yet. There we go, festive berries. And then we just put the little ink in the center there. Some of them are darker than others, but it's okay. And then I'm going to prop those with some foam tape in the back or extra cardstock. And then now I can put them on top of my panel just to give it a little dimension. That one rose is actually not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be on the bottom, but it doesn't matter. You can just mix and match. It's okay. So there we go. You can see that there's the extra cardstock on the back. There's still about 3 layers of white scrap cardstock I put up there just to prop up those roses. And then I'm going to allow them to overlap, so it's okay that them cut off. It kind of fixes, I'm okay with cutting off images. I think it's kind of fun. But if you're not, this is a great way of bringing it back so that it's overlapping, but you can not on the white cardstock. There we go. We'll just prop up my leaves, and then I'm going to prop up my sentiment, which also has some foam squares on this. And then off camera, I inked it with some embossing ink and then white embossing powder on black cardstock. There we go. Just going to take this last one off because that rose is actually already lifted. So that will just allow me to set on top. And I think the black really shines with this one. I did try with the reverse first, but it was just the white on white was too much. But having that little black outline mimics the panel. And I think that looks really beautiful. I love that sentiment. Birthday with a nice text and then the scripty font with the wishes. Next, I'm going to bring in some embellishments. I just happen to have some sparkly green that not match, but complements the green that's already on the card. And we're not going to use the pointy end. I always pick up the wrong end. But we're going to pick up that little wax tip, and it's going to put a few of different sizes around the card. I think I'll do 2 in the top, 2 in the left corner, and then 3 in the right-hand corner there. And then, of course, I will be fiddling around with this for a while. So you will see a transitioning happening soon where I just say, okay, this is enough. And let's start gluing these guys down. And I think it's coming right now. There it is. Okay. And there's the positioning. You could spend hours trying to figure the perfect position. I don't know why I allow myself to take so long. But anyways, just pick a spot and then start gluing. So this is my card. This is part of a hop, so definitely check the playlist down below where you'll see some other design team members creating cards with GINA K products. I love this. This is fantastic, and this is such an easy sketch to work with. I do hope you enjoy this, and until the next time, have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you all later. Take care. Bye.